Hey, welcome to the Sunday preview for this 25th Sunday of the year, and it's September 22nd. So we've got a beautiful reading again from the Gospel of Mark. It goes like this. Jesus and his disciples left from there and began a journey through Galilee, but he did not wish anyone to know about it. He was teaching his disciples and telling them, "The Son of Man is to be handed over to men, and they will kill him. And 3 days after his death, the Son of Man will rise." But they did not understand the saying, and they were afraid to question him. They came to Capernaum, and once inside the house, he began to ask them, "What were you arguing about along the way?" They remained silent. They had been discussing among themselves on the way who was the greatest. And he sat down and called the 12 and said to them, "If anyone wishes to be first, he shall be the last of all and the servant of all." Taking a child, he placed it in their midst, and putting his arms around it, said to them, "Whoever receives one child such as this in my name receives me. And whoever receives me receives not me, but the one who sent me." The Gospel of the Lord. Once again, Jesus is trying to explain to his disciples that his suffering and death is the way forward, that's necessary for the salvation of the world according to the plan of God the Father. And it says they did not understand what he was saying, and they were afraid to question him. That reminds me, so often we don't really want to know the truth because maybe the truth is too hard for us. Right? And we find every way around it, blocking it out of our mind. But Jesus is saying this over and over to the disciples to try to get them away from their mindset, which was, here's the Messiah, he's going to triumph, he's going to be successful, we're going to get crowds of thousands and thousands, and we're going to be in power, and everybody will praise us. That's a human way of thinking, right? And that was unfortunately their way of thinking to a large extent. Remember last week when Peter tried to say to Jesus, "No, Lord, you can't go suffer and die." And Jesus called him Satan. Right? Our mindset has to change because the logic of God is different, how he's going to save the world. And then apparently, while they were walking along the way, they were all arguing about who was the greatest among them, who was the most important apostle. Some of them probably didn't like it when Jesus made Peter the leader and the Pope. And Jesus knew it, and that's why he takes that little child and says, you have to change your mindset because it's the humility, the innocence, the simplicity that really matters in the kingdom of God. And that's a hard lesson for us all to learn, that God's going to save the world through sacrifice and suffering. God's going to look at the little children and the humble of heart as the ones closest to him, not how powerful we are, and how smart we are, and how virtuous we are even, no, but how much we resemble a little child.